Pigsy, mind reminding me how the hell did we ended up here in the first place?
Well, we were arguing, and the button dropped from your pocket, and I accidentally pressed it. Then it exploded a random African village.
That has zero correlation. Just say you don't know, and we're lost.
Monkey, watch out!
Huh? Holy, the hell was that?
I think we're in a different part of the West.
How did that get up there?
Wukong?
What?
The zombies are coming.
Where the hell did they come from?
Are we fucking serious?
Alright, it's time for us to review this game.
Wait, review? I thought this was a lore explanation video. I mean, the thumbnail looks like it would explain some tragic lore of this game.
Obviously not. It's just a niche reference. And I prefer talking about the story of games, not the lore. And since this game doesn't have much of a story, and a lot of lore surrounding it, we'll just ignore them unless it's relevant to the topic. Anyway, it's time to talk about...
Now, I know nothing about where this game's inspiration from, Helldivers 2, besides the many conflicting horror stories I've heard recently. But that's besides the point. I'll just explain the mode on how I've experienced it. The extraction mode is a roguelite, not roguelike. There's a difference between them, by the way, so don't worry about permadeath. It's a mode where you go to the trenches, go through different map campaigns, get card upgrades, before extract based on how far or short you've done for medals, get better guns, repeat. Extraction has a lot of cool ideas that I liked, one of them being the Rothenburg village. Rothenburg is interesting in both the setting and the objective. I also like the junction, not because it's interesting, just because horde shooting headshots are fun. But here's the thing, once you've played this run after the second or the third run and get your favorite gun, you've seen everything this game mode has to offer. This is somewhat unrelated, but please let us get rid of these things by using our melee or something. They do so little damage that genuinely it's pointless to use the intended mechanic, and just better to outright ignore them. Unless you're in one-shot modifier run, which is why I suggest this in the first place, because sometimes you'll get stuck under the ground, force yourself to get up and die, or just make them unable to one-shot you also works. And my bigger complaint is the explosion barrels in this game. This game has by far the weakest and pointless explosion I've played for a while with these explosion barrels. At best, maybe you'll kill two at the same time. But most of the time, you'd probably kill like one, or just do nothing if they're behind walls. Genuinely, what's the point of these barrels if they don't even do the bare minimum of killing multiple at once?
Now normally, this gameplay loop isn't a problem at all, but it can get really stale over time. I think it has to do with how all your experience is almost the same as your last playthrough with tiny variations of it. Modifiers does help changing up how you play the game, like this run where you can't use guns, and everyone uses melee, or use different class and a different new gun. But that doesn't really fill up the hollow hole of replayability of this game. In a game where this loop is the main point of the game, I think the game would benefit if there's a way to upgrade your weapon in your runs like the cards. For example, you sell or scrap your tools that you don't need in exchange for parts to upgrade your weapon. Because honestly, there's like barely any reason for anyone to carry more than 2 to 3 guns, when you can just get 10 medkits for reviving.
Alright, that's enough. Let's talk about something more positive. The way they made the gun system is genuinely great. I really like that all guns are perfectly viable to use, regardless of the rarity. Sure, there's better guns, but you definitely can just use only common guns and do relatively well, with the only problem being the very limited selection, which I think the devs already knows and plan for more guns, so this gets an immediate pass.
Why is this guy talking about gun system when it's about extraction? Is he illiterate?
I was just getting to it. I definitely think the extraction mode needs different setting, would be a nice change of pace from the boring hollowed sky that got carried by the environment, like some day-night cycle, or the beach, a forest, swamp, or the Arctic for whatever reason. This obviously isn't an immediate problem, and the dev most likely already know about it and planning on new maps. But please literally place me anywhere so I can leave this godforsaken trench's dark
Ain't
sky.
that the point of the game?
If you're wondering why this one got a section despite how short it is, it's because this mode is just so incredibly bare bones that it needs its own section to talk about. And that has to do with how there's nothing much to upgrade or improve your base beyond just more health, get better guns or cards like the extraction. But I think it's cool you can find new enemies that's only in this mode. So I hope there's more exclusive enemies in this mode. And yes, I know you can build stuff to defend the fort, but it's very limited.
We should be able to hire NPC soldiers or mercenaries to defend the fort, and mortars or cannons. Because, come on, they're sending goddamn tanks on a singular person here. I think it's fair to have something in this mode. Though to be fair, we are going to have an actual mountable weapon later, so great for that. And I know the game calls itself a squad PvE shooter, and you're supposed to play with other people. But I don't think it would hurt having more people in this game mode specifically.
What are you talking about? This shit the reason why you keep fragging yourself. Just kill all of them before they kill you. No need for people or build stuff needed other than my gun, because I'm too goated for that. Just watch and I'll get past 50 waves solo easily.
Dude, are you okay? How'd you think this boss would be? Do you think this would be hard to beat?
Nah, it can't be that bad. Besides, the two of us are enough to beat them. Don't sweat about it. What are you even looking at? Yeah, I'm not going there, dude. You do it yourself.
I hate this rain, but I guess it's not all bad so far. If you're wondering why he's a fraud, just look at this and you tell me, man.
Help me! Help me!
Bro got this cool cutscene, only to get his HP nearly half immediately, the moment this fraud stepped forward, before getting close. I'm not even kidding about this, but I've lost more to mutants he sends than actually himself. I don't know why they buffed this guy instead of the guy that actually needed the buff.
Hey boss, that one coalition soldier is gonna be here soon.
Oh, good. It has been too long since I've used this axe properly. I hope this soldier give me a good fight. What does that soldier have, by the way?
I think he has a slingshot.
What? A slingshot? Why didn't you tell me that they have something so dangerous?
Oh, what the hell are you screaming about it? It's just a slingshot. It's not like he has to have most of the strength prepared. He just has a slingshot and a sword. What the hell were you even expecting them to have?
I was expecting a knife. You know, the military knives.
Hey guys.
I can't do this, man. I can't fight range weapons. Alright. I think I have an amazing plan to beat that monster. First, go get our 3 heavily traumatized soldiers. And when the soldier is here, I'll kill them.
What the hell? Why would you even kill our soldiers for?
Because I need to scare that soldier away from me. I'll be very intimidating when I kill them, and that should be enough to scare the soldier. Or better yet, get them a heart attack, and the soldier die on the spot.
Are you actually serious? Can't you just use them to flank or surround them? Or it's just one guy?
I'm the higher rank. Do it!
Just so you know, this isn't a bad game mechanic or isn't a complaint. Just funny that he's heavily reliant on his minions. But at the very least, he's enjoyable to fight using melee. He's an interesting boss. It's pretty cool that he has a gimmick where you can't use your guns, literally blocking them, and you're forced to use your melee, or explosive if you're a coward. But honestly, I don't think he's a fun boss to fight. Not because he has a one-shot move, or that he's difficult now. If anything, he isn't actually the issue. It's because of ourselves. Specifically, it's the melee and blocking. The way I would describe it is that the game isn't properly built around melee. One of that example would be blocking. Just so you know, blocking isn't useless by any means necessary. They work pretty well. But it doesn't feel great blocking, especially when there's no real indication or sign cues that you block something, besides that you took less damage. I have no idea why blocking drains your stamina when you're not even getting hit. What am I getting exhausted for? My shadow? So yeah, I wish they reworked blocking so they feel more satisfying and more worth it. Or just rework melees in general, because there's really not a whole lot of reasons on why you would use any other melee besides this saber, because it's fast and have long reach. And the melee combat is just not good. You just spam charge attack and use your lingering hitbox, and your light attack is just almost useless. Almost. As in, using it to finish off enemies that's low. They really need some unique passive or ability that makes you play differently on each melee, like the new Aegis shield for example. So yeah, cool boss, but poorly executed due to the system in this game. Are you serious? I like this one. It's genuinely really cool. The fact that you have different ways of completing this mission is a really cool idea. You do some quest, fight off the mutants and New Order, and capture or destroy Big Bertha. Having different way of completing a task, with different reward or consequences, is appealing to me. I hope the dev do more and expand stuff like this. You know, it doesn't feel the same without Wukong here. I wonder where he is right now.
Man, I just want to go back to Huaguoshan. Wait, what even is that? Oh, honestly, that wasn't that bad.
Oh, I'm glad that he's alive, I guess.
Fuck you mean I guess. Give me that. Anyway, the new boss, Jeager. Kinda underwhelming, if I'm being honest. Look, I don't want to be negative, because I had actual fun fighting this boss the first time. And it also felt more balanced, and more engaging than the previous bosses. So it's actually better than the previous bosses. But the literal moment I came back for seconds, it's complete raps for her. It's done. And in complete opposite from her brother, she sucks to fight in a melee-only run.
Isn't that obvious because of her 2 miniguns?
No! Listen here, Pixie. The second best way to deal with her minigun is blocking using any melee, because they're actually made of rubber bullets. Well, not really. Maybe if you invest heavily in block cards and damage reduction. Please do if you want to fight this boss. You'll thank me later. And the first being crouching behind these destroyed walls. Honestly glad that crouching has an actual function now, but back to the point. What makes her actually sucks to fight is because her swing doesn't sync with her animation, coming out way too fast than what it looks. And if you're lucky, and she rams into a wall because she's a dumbass that doesn't seem to understand there's a wall in front of her, this will prop up when you got it, after forcefully putting her into the walls. I don't think she minds, probably. But what it doesn't actually tell you is that you can't see anything because of this god-awful filter. It's so dark to the point that I had to use my gun spark to light up the room. And if you're wondering if it's actually difficult, honestly, I think the issue with these two is that they have a major lack of attack patterns when they go through their different phases. Because this meant literally nothing besides doing more damage. I wonder if these two are actually canonically related. By the way, here's a fun fact for her. She usually talks in 1 or 2 short sentences. Sometimes 3 if you're lucky. That's because she's brain damaged from the
Once a child in the head, until all memories and flesh of who she once was is no longer. For every cage in its husk of metal, in a never-ending war, in a never-ending night, for there is no peace for the wicked.